Welcome to Washington State University, home of the Cougs, where school spirit runs high, but lately student numbers have been running low. After peaking in 2019, WSU's enrollment has fallen for 5 years straight. In today's video, we're investigating why WSU has seen steady enrollment decline since the 2019 COVID pandemic, and whether this trend is unique to WSU or part of something bigger. That's right, WSU has about 6,000 fewer students now than it did before the pandemic. It's nearly a 20% drop system-wide. The pandemic hit colleges everywhere, but here in Pullman, the impact has been especially tough. Let's break down the reasons, starting with what's happening inside WSU. First, many WSU faculty point fingers at the university's leadership. They say administrative decisions over the past several years have hurt WSU's appeal. For example, under President Kirk Schultz, WSU created new layers of administration, like a Pullman campus chancellor, growing the bureaucracy by about 18%. Critics call that an administrative bloat that diverted money away from teaching and students. In February of 2024, hundreds of WSU professors went so far as to call for new leadership, citing a 16% enrollment decline on the Pullman campus since 2016. They also noted WSU's academic reputation took a hit. Our U.S. News ranking dropped significantly in that time. All of this can make a school less attractive to applicants. Think about it. If you hear a university's rankings have fallen and its own faculty are in open revolt, would you be excited to enroll there? Probably not. Second, WSU has had financial troubles that impacted students. A big one is athletics. WSU's sports program ran up deficits, and then the Pac-12 conference, which WSU was a part of, collapsed last year. The university responded with across-the-board budget cuts and proposed tuition hikes. In fact, WSU now has the highest in-state tuition of any public university in Washington. Higher costs, fewer resources, not a great combo for drawing in new students. As one faculty-written op-ed put it, WSU's been cutting budgets for 5 years. Faculty morale has plummeted. When professors leave and classes gets cut, students notice, and prospective students might choose a different university where those issues aren't so severe. Third, consider WSU's location and student experience. Pullman is your standard college town, but it's remote. During the pandemic, many students left campus and online. Some just never came back. WSU has been working to improve student life, for example, renovating old dorms that students felt more neglected, but it's playing catch-up. There's a sense that WSU's campus energy took a hit during COVID and hasn't fully recovered. Contrast that with, say, the University of Washington in Seattle, which had record applications and enrollment in the past couple years. City schools and well-known brand-name universities bounce back faster, while WSU and other regional campuses are still trying to convince students to move away from home and come out to the Palouse. Now, is WSU's enrollment decline unique? Not entirely. Most public universities in Washington saw enrollment dip after 2020. Eastern Washington University had such a big drop that they're literally tearing down empty dorms and even rebranded as a polytechnic school to attract students back. Central Washington University in Ellensburg is down about 20% in headcount since 2019. Western Washington University in Bellingham had a smaller drop of around 8%. And has basically stabilized now. Meanwhile, the University of Washington in Seattle actually grew a little. It enrolled more students in 2023 than pre-pandemic. What we're seeing is a big picture trend. The top flagship universities are doing okay, or even growing, but mid-size and regional schools are struggling. The state report found that overall, Washington's four-year colleges collectively saw a 10% undergraduate decline from 2019 to 2022. WSU's decline was steeper than average, but not an outlier compared to Eastern or Central. So yes, WSU is a part of a broader trend in the state and nationally, where students are either aiming for prestigious flagships or looking for cheaper, closer to home options, leaving schools like WSU stuck in the middle. Let's zoom out even more. Why are fewer students going to college in general since COVID? Experts point out a few reasons. During the pandemic, a lot of young people found jobs or saw the rising cost of college and said, no thanks, I'll take the paycheck. College is expensive, and if a public university like WSU keeps raising tuition, some families decide it's not worth the debt. A strong job market made skipping college feel safer, at least in the short term. Online learning options have exploded. Some students realize they can get a certificate or attend an online university and still land a good job. Others just lost interest in school during the chaos of COVID. Nationally, about 1.3 million fewer students are enrolled in college today compared to before the pandemic. WSU certainly felt that. Many of those 1.3 million missing students would have been the kind who might attend a place like WSU. WSU officials are keenly aware of these challenges. They're responding on multiple fronts. The university beefed up its recruiting with more scholarships and nationwide marketing, and it worked to boost freshman enrollment by about 6% last year. WSU joined the Common App and started pitching itself to students who might not have considered it before. There's also a push to improve retention. After all, keeping students you do have is crucial. WSU managed to keep around 80% of freshmen moving on to sophomore year, and they want to improve that by enhancing student support and campus life. WSU is also trying to get its financial house in order. The incoming president instituted a hiring freeze and spending cuts in 2025 to stabilize finances. The idea is to avoid sudden tuition hikes or drastic program cuts that can scare off students. What about Cougar sports? With the Pac-12 gone, WSU is a rallying pride in a new direction. The hope is that Cougar football can remain a centerpiece of the student experience and not fade. A winning season or two never hurts enrollment. Some even argue that investing in athletics marketing could help draw students. The classic football success equals more applicants theory. It's a bit of a gamble, but it shows WSU is looking at every angle to turn things around. So what's the bottom line? WSU's enrollment decline since COVID has been driven by a mix of external forces and internal missteps. Fewer students nationwide are choosing college, and WSU faces stiff competition from other schools. On top of that, WSU has its own hurdles: leadership turmoil, budget woes, and the need to reinvigorate campus life, which made the downturn worse. The university is learning from this hard lesson. Faculty have raised alarm bells, and new leadership is coming in with plans to adapt. WSU is doubling down on what it does best as a land-grant university and making changes to better serve students. Will it be enough to bring more Cougs to Pullman in the coming years? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, WSU knows it must evolve to survive in this new normal of higher education. The story of WSU's enrollment decline isn't just about numbers dropping. It's about how a university responds to adversity and charts a new path forward.